We're Jug Dealers, we're the podcast you need to see. Teaching the game like you never seen. Jerin, Gabe, GRAMBO, true OGs. Masters of the growth, set your mind free. From Denver, Colorado, where the data's green. We set the data points for the SOPs. Jug Dealers Podcast, yes indeed.
Back to the Jug Dealers Podcast, where we discuss all things cannabis and lifestyle related, brought to you by the good people at 5-8, and as always available at jugdealers.net and jugdealers.shop. Today we have a special one. We are live.
We're live. We're trying this. We're fingers crossed this works out. We're taking the dive. We're taking the dive. Real quick, just before we get into things, wanted to mention, obviously we have everything available, like GRAMBO shown there on jugdealers.shop. Also, you can request samples on jugdealer.net/samples. Fill out the growers form, and then you can pay the shipping and handling. That will get you one of 3 packages, get sent straight to you. You can also check out our bookings page. Oh, might I add, once you send that growers form in, you're actually going to hear, directly from us.
Yeah, you'll hear from
it's a process where
if I call you, it's because if you see a 303 number, it's probably me.
And then also you will see the what it says in there. You got to use code sample when you check out. It's like a $500 value. We're giving it to you for under $195 shipped. Just put in code sample. That takes $400 off.
Yeah. And that just made things a little bit easier. We've been trying to smooth this out. It's been a process. Thank you for everybody that have been, kind of on us through this process. But you will be hearing directly from us. The one other thing too, we do have the VIP subscribers page that we're putting out. You can see there how you can put it in there in the samples deal. But we do have the VIP growers list as well, which we're going to have monthly coupon codes that go out. Last month was Slicium. This month will be a coupon code on cocoa. So anybody that signed up on that, you'll get a coupon code that will work for the month on one selected item. And that's actually been going well. We've been getting a lot of people signing up. So go ahead and sign up on that. Last but certainly not least, we've got the bookings page as well, that which you can find out where we're going to be at, such as including my wonderful associate Gabe here, how he's going to be at Growers Paradise.
Saturday from 10 to 6, dude. I'm right outside of Richmond.
And it's actually pretty awesome. You can click right on that, and that'll take you to Gabe's email as long as everything's properly set up, which usually it is. But that's kind of nice too. So if you're if you are going and you want to if you want to connect with Gabe directly, or if it's an event that I'm doing, you can click on that. It'll take you right to our emails. When are we coming down to Florida again? Hopefully soon. Usually I always like to come in the winter, right when it gets nice and cold. I'll take a trip down to Florida.
I was going to say, I did see that question from Papa Homegrown. Well, mark that, Grandma, because I do want to get to that. He was asking about the green sensation versus the TB.
So mark that, because
it's a popular question right now.
We are gonna, and just so everybody knows, we're gonna go through a few things. We're gonna kind of do, and mind you, this is literally a first time deal for us here, right?
Yes.
So we kind of figured, man, it's 100th episode. We did want to do something different. And we kind of wanted to go through, just start off, and we'll be like kind of loosely paying attention to the stream as we go through this, which again, this is the first time with us. So it's really fun and like distracting, but very fun, distracting. But we're going to go through some of our.
Are you saying the chat? Are you saying the chat?
Yes, exactly. Royal farmers and plant janitors, like, hell yeah. So anyway, so it looks like there's a bunch of Florida people in here. Hell yeah. My mom's from Florida. Anybody that,
that's funny. That's so funny.
Got a lot of love in Florida. Got a lot of love for the Jug Dealers. Got a lot of love for New Millennium in Florida. Shout out to Urban Roots. We're going to try and have a little bit of a format, is what I was saying, to start this. And then we are really just going to, kind of be opened up and really let the chat kind of dictate how things are going, open up for some questions. But I did want to start out, just talking about a few of the things that, really some of our highlights, right?
So, by the way, we didn't, I said we were doing the live, and we had it on the little promo what it was for. But the reality is, this is our 100th episode. So
that's the deal. That's why we're here. I mean, that's not why we're here, but that's why we're doing it live.
Something we're really excited about. shout out to Sammy, because originally we had a show that was quite different, and hey, we're
really,
live.
yeah,
We're
really,
live, so, and then when, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this whole thing has definitely been, built on, and it's been built on a lot of different things. Like, we're really blessed, and with all the people and all the support to have gotten, this far, and just an acknowledgement that it did start. There was a couple renditions before this. We had, Ready, Set, Grow. We had, even before that, we had Grow Speak that was, started like really early, just in the pandemic when we couldn't travel around anymore. And like, we wanted to still get out to people. We felt like there was a gap in information, and so definitely big shout out to Sammy, who's been, part of this in background. And then we were able to get GRAMBO going on, shout out to the Dude Grows. I was able to go on there and get, a lot of time on camera and just like a feel for what we wanted to do, put me in GRAMBO's, path to where it's at. And again, we weren't traveling as much. And it was like, what do we,
and the stores were closing. We didn't have as many places to go. That
right.
was really,
right.
Whereas, Jay's been doing the store thing a lot longer than I have, but Jay used to be able to go on the road and you could hit, 8-10 stores all in a day. None of them were competing with each other. It was a really good place to be. And nowadays, it might be 2, 3, 5 hours between stores.
So,
that became our way to reach out to people.
And this became a very powerful platform for us, and then we're able to open up the Jug Dealer store, and we're getting a lot of great support on that. You're going to see more and more merch coming up on that. I promise, it is a process. We're a small independent team, but again, let's kind of start off the top. And we did want to talk about, for us, just like what very quickly, and not get into this a whole lot, but we're also trying to give us some time to people to get, into the chat and get warmed up.
And if we don't answer, we sit, we're reading this as we're
trying to
answer. There's going to be some stuff that gets missed. Honestly, like we say, you guys have our contacts. Like this at this point, the chat is like the fam.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, you know what, Gabe, it's almost like we've done this before. And it's actually, this is really fun. As you can see, I'm doing this from my studio / office at home. So you can see all my, my library back here. For
the viewers, you live a decent clip from the studio.
Yeah, no, I do. I live, depending on how the traffic is, I'm up, I'm up in the fort. So it, it can be an hour to an hour and a half.
Me and Jerin share the exact same drive. You live near Scotty. I live near the studio.
Yeah.
Monday and Wednesday, I go up. Tuesday, you come down. It's
ships passing in the night. Yeah. So, but I do want to mention, because, the people that are in the chat and the real hardcore, like old Whip, I see you in there, Whip. Thanks. Thank you for chiming in. Big supporter there. And I see, I saw the pictures today. Really great work. But we also feel like for these people here that we're talking, to, like, this is where this is what the Jug Club is about. You know what I mean? And this is where we feel like is really going to be, our supporters. And we wanted to go over that just a little bit real quickly, just kind of what you're getting, because I feel like this is really the people that, I think are really going to be looking, for this. So obviously you're going to get a lot of behind the scenes coverage that right now we can't do. Like, when it comes to YouTube, there's just certain things that they don't
algorithm.
It doesn't appreciate plants. It doesn't appreciate product. It doesn't appreciate this. But we want to show that stuff. We want to do strain reviews. We want to do stuff with just, road scores. We want to do and be able to talk more about some of the things that happens, whether it's different places we're at and stuff that happens behind the scenes, or just be touching plants and saying, this is how I like to clone, and this is how Gabe likes to clone. And you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is there's just a lot, like we want to give you guys more of that interaction, and we want to give it to the close group. You're also going to get that 20% discount each and every time.
Yeah.
Order, which is big.
20% off of pretty much everything in the store. You're going to get to see the guys on the road, all the stuff that, what is all the different stuff on the road? We didn't really have a home for it. Now it's over on the Jug Club. It's going to be Jug Dealers After Dark. So it's going to be the podcast episodes we can't show.
And just like with strain reviews, stuff like that. Like a lot of it, we just can't do it. Or even
you had to take the episode down.
talking openly.
Yeah.
Even talking openly about breeding. If you say a couple of those words, it's like that you don't even mean to say, and it's like whoopsie doo.
And
you
then
know,
one of the big ones is Jug School. We're gonna get the guys in the garden. We're gonna be touching plants, taking high quality video, putting it all up over there. And it's a way you guys can support the show for just context, 100 episodes, right? Like, 100, like Joe Rogan's on 2000. That's an episode a week for 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Almost. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't believe, we got here. Last thing I do want to mention, you will get some exclusive stuff that's going to show that you are a Jug Club member. It's the only place you're going to get it. One of the things we're going to have is a pin that goes out. We're going to have a custom lanyard. We're going to have a custom all access pass.
You're going to get the
it's something that might even be pass. If you were ever, if you ever see us at an event and have your all access pass, you'll get exclusive, something exclusive from us.
Shout out to Bad River. We see you guys.
Yay, Bad River. Thank you guys. I was actually just in Deadwood with the family over Labor Day. Obviously, it's not super close.
You did go up we didn't talk about that. You did go up to Deadwood.
I did go to Deadwood, yeah.
I know you said you didn't want to talk about this shit on the show, but you did go up to Deadwood?
I did go up to Deadwood, but it's okay. Look, the show's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty open. But we did want to mention just kind of all the stuff that is there, in the Jug Club and just what's there. So it is going to be a lot of extra content. It is going to be, a discount. It is going to be some exclusive gear that'll come in a welcome pack. You know what I mean? You will have your Jug Club number, your Jug Club member number. It's going to be exclusive to you. It will be your number forever. I'm really excited.
It's kind of like Peter Luger's, dude.
And it's a monthly subscription thing. So if you guys, you come in, you get all that extra content. We're going to be creating. It's a slow build out. You guys are in the first elite kind of got people that come in. We had the first elite 56 that got all the special package. That was just the soft thing. See who was interested, who wants to come in. A lot of people were interested,
and that's why we had to kind of shut it down, reset.
And so you'll see, it's not there just yet. It's there on my end, but not on your guys' end. Sign up and become a 2. We got to stock it with content. But go over.
Honestly, we're really truly, and I'm gonna throw this down on GRAMBO right now. But truthfully, we're trying to get this going. I wanted it by September 1. We're trying to get this going by the end of the week. We're right there. You know what I mean? We're definitely right there. So thank you for everybody's patience on that. I'm excited to give you guys, and we're even thinking doing like a monthly too, something like this for only club members, where we do have a live question session only for members, you know what I mean? And again, giving you guys that exclusive
maybe access. Like one of the things that's really cool out there is like doing a Zoom call. Your camera's on. You can show us your grow. We can ask questions. It's it's a smoke sesh. So definitely, Jug Club is going to be fun. I've been putting there's going to be a lot. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more there. Also, really hard on this cannabis stuff. This has been the thing I've been working the hardest on. So it's going to be cool.
Coming, I swear, I promise. The other thing is the weekly giveaway. GRAMBO, why don't you just discuss that super fast? So
it's one of the things that separates us from a lot of the cannabis podcasts, as you guys are going to see out there, is that we're supported by you guys, and not in a way where we're just looking. You notice we never shout out a Patreon. We never say join YouTube memberships. We're 100% supported by the Jug Dealers store. And so the fact that you guys go there and support us, we decided anybody that goes there every single week, we're going to pick someone that buys anything. You buy a $20 Slicium, you buy $1,000 worth of giant nutrients gallons, whatever you do, you get entered into a contest, and we're going to randomly choose someone every single week and give away something. So all you got to do, buy a couple cocoa blocks, buy some Slicium. Anytime I see your name in there, I'm going to do a raffle, and we're going to get everyone put together. And every single week, someone's going to get something for free. And all you got to do
is awesome. And that's every single week. I did want to address this too. Yeah, the original 50 that did sign up, you will need to sign up again. And we'll put out a deal probably on Instagram, an announcement, give an actual date and time when we're going to open this thing up. You will need to re-sign up, and you will get the welcome package. That'll be on top of, what we sent out originally. That was kind of a one-time, like, let's just go big on that, because again, it was a soft opening that we kind of got slapped in the face with. And then it took us a long time.
The 5-8 management, they weren't sure about the juggernauts. They were like,
they didn't believe in you guys.
You guys aren't going to get any subscribers.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys came proper. So,
and then we'll shout out too, while I'm scrolling here, Playground products are 50% off right now. Everything except for Green Sensation, of course. That's the only one, but it's available at checkout. So if you go, people keep messaging me, and they're like, "Oh, it's not on sale." It's like, oh, it is. All you gotta do is put it in your cart. Discount 50% off a playground.
So thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. And here's the deal too. I want to do a quick shout out, just saying, hey guys, we are going to have legitimate questions we're going to try and take at the end of the show, and we'll open that up. So if you're just kind of getting your wheels turning a little bit, we'll turn it over to you guys kind of at a certain point once we get through this. So keep that in mind. Just giving a shout out for that.
You don't have to be one of the original 50 to sign up again.
No, you can be anybody. No, absolutely not. We just consider it like we wipe your memory clean of that kind of happened, and then we had to shut it down. It was really a payment thing. Check out.
Yeah, we got banned. We straight up got banned from banking. That's what set this all back.
It's because there's a cannabis leaf on your plant janitor shirt, bro.
Hey, and shout out to the 6 people that bought plant janitor shirts. We
see you. And I know there's more to come. And we're gonna have more stuff on there.
I guarantee I'll see one of them.
So no, like I said, again, that 56 definitely got, like, we have that thing open for less than 24 hours. I mean, we kind of got, like, again, we got slapped in the face with it, so that's just kind of, it's we didn't even know how it was going to go down, but this time we are prepared. Everybody will be, it'll all be, so people will have to re-sign up. It's open to anybody. Again, we'll definitely let you know. Gabe, let's go ahead and just run right into, because heck, we're actually kind of running along here. Why don't we get right into just kind of our favorite, some of our favorite moments, and and even some of our favorite episodes. Why don't you start with, like, right at the beginning, because started early.
GRAMBO, you mind? Honestly, when we started, that first Jair episode was definitely Yair. I shouldn't say it like that anymore. I should say we've known him long enough that I should say it the right way. So Yair.
Well, he's Americanized. So he would say Jair. He would say Jair. So that's where I go these days.
To be able to tour around with him and to have that.
Oh man, we've been all over the place.
All over the background beforehand. For me, having operated a lot of these big facilities, like I always used to tell people, like, that was the light that turned me into a rock star grower. Like, I was never one of the dudes who grew 2 pounds of light with a single ended bulb. I grew like 1.25 pounds. It was good flower, but those fixtures were really the ones that revolutionized the game, not just for me, but for so many people, for the industry, and some of the principles that they brought over from Holland with the rolling benches and all that stuff. So to be able to do that interview, that was like, and to be fair, like, a lot of that was the genesis of the show for us, where we were like, we want to educate people. We want to have people tell the story.
Well, that was kind of us saying, hey, we're going to really work on giving people, like, really good information, even though we were at building block 0 basically there. You know what I mean? And, like, even if you look at the studio, dude, it's like not built out yet.
That was one of the things
crappy camera like we had. And, really, honestly, shout out to the brass at 5/8 for believing in this. Bringing in GRAMBO, there you go. Like, we're barely.
Wow, dude!
We had to do something.
We don't even have the banner.
The lighting is up. I literally went to Home Depot with about $150, and I built out this studio. I'm very proud of it. I'm not much of a handyman, but I was in there hammering stuff. You guys wouldn't believe what the studio looks like behind that wall. It's weird.
Yeah.
There's a glass window. There's a door. This is behind the scenes.
Yeah. And so, and really, being able to go, really get all over the place, and obviously some of those early episodes, unfortunately, for the quality. Oh, you know what? Real quick, super quick shout out, because we didn't do this quite yet. Shout out to Cannabis Vibe for the theme song. That was a real special treat. That was a real special treat.
And he just said he's off to, his mom has to go to the hospital. So turbo shout out for Cannabis Vibe. Thank you for that.
Be safe. Godspeed. But thank you very much for that. I did want to shout that out very specifically, because that was like, we were kind of a place like, oh, what do you do with that? You know what I mean? There's a lot. It always sounds easy. Hey, just do a podcast, and then you actually got to, like,
do a podcast.
And it was very fun. I got to do some filmmaking. I got my start as a little filmmaker. So it's like a little short film. The guys arrive, they come into the studio.
You're like, we got accepted.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, here we are 100, 2 years, 100 later, you know what I mean? So anyway, I wanted to make that shout out, but I don't want to say feel bad, but of course it is that those early ones where it's like, oh man, they did not get the exposure they deserve. Eugene didn't get it. Jair didn't get it.
Yeah,
Bill didn't get it.
Bill got good. Bill was actually our first hit and was the one that really, that was the one that really
started going, oh man.
Was that our first one that got 20,000?
I told the guys I was at Dude Grows, and we'd put out the episodes. They were getting, you guys were getting a couple hundred views on the Ready Set Grow, and so then we started getting like 500. I'm like, all right, this is going good. Episode 3, Kind Bill. I'm sitting at Dude Grows studio, and I look up the thing, and it had 3,000 views in like an hour.
And that was episode 3. You guys came on hard quickly, and like we were blown away. But you know what that made us do? Get our shit together.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And you can see the cameras look like crap. It's tilted.
But look, we got the banner.
It's
Rock,
we're getting there though.
Shout out to Rock for getting that banner done, because it does.
It's one of the favorite banners they'd ever done. They loved it when we picked it up.
And it's funny because I don't think y'all realize, like, you look at all the other shows, everything else that's going on. This is literally like a family business for everybody here. Rock is one of the owner's brothers, so it's like, man, everybody chipped in to really make this show happen. It's pretty impressive.
It is.
Yeah, we had zero budget, and and that's why the Jug Store, we push the jugdealers.shop so much, because it's how you support us. You get the best nutrients.
Well, we're not sponsored much for it. I mean, this really is, homegrown, but that's what we love about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, it's all organic. It's all homegrown, and we're really here to give you guys that information, and we want to truly give it to you. Basically, carte blanche, and just say, hey, here it is. It's not something we're going to hide behind. The whole behind the veil thing, that's more about, they won't let us show the fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's about us wanting to like hold
something. That's a function of, we would love to go deeper in the pocket, but it's just, that's why we don't smoke on the show. It's not that we didn't take.
It's not that we don't like to smoke. I may even step out.
Cut to the side real quick, GRAMBO, so I can squeeze one of these in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I got you.
And I'll roll on to that. And I don't know if Eugene's on here yet, but shout out to our good friend Eugene.
Link set over there. One of the only episodes we did a 2-parter with Eugene Green Monroe, awesome NFL first round draft pick. He is an awesome friend of all of ours. And the first episode got, a little over 1,000, and it's up to 2,000 now. But the second episode only has 800 views.
He's one of the co-founders of GTI.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, and the story is amazing because he was not a cannabis guy at all.
No.
And he's so deep in it. In fact, he's been giving his mom the RSO, and she is this close to cancer free. Hey. And that's how much he believes in it, that he is just literally dedicated his life in such a huge way.
He's been a big supporter of, all of us, and always, huge
New Millennium user. He's been using the DLI lights and stuff.
And the re-vegger of the catfish, as Tin Man points out.
Right.
Catfish. He put,
yes.
Oh boy.
Such a great story on what happened with that catfish and how he re-vegged it. I mean, it was, it's
so been, if there is, go back and see that episode if you haven't, you know what I mean? But that was definitely always one where we kind of like, we'll get Eugene back on. He's just a busy man too. He's not in, he's not in studio all the time. But again, we may even pull him in and have him peek in and say, hello, if he's got some time, on this at some point. So you never know.
And then we brought up Sam, but I definitely wanted to show just like how different the podcast was. You guys were called Ready, Set, Grow. And you guys know me, I'm a nerd for the algorithm, and you're competing against Ready, Set, Go on that one. And it's like, there's just no algorithmic traction. What can we be other than that? And we had a whole team meeting, and it came up with, hey, we should be the Jug Dealers. And I was like, ooh, that's got some legs to it.
Good night of bowling it was.
Yeah. It was a great night of bowling.
It was a great night of bowling.
And again, this has been a process, you know what I mean? And again, we did have to build on that. And I think that was a beautiful thing. Once we got things going, I feel like we were like ready to go too, a little bit more, It wasn't like, oh shit, we've never done this before, But, man, and that even goes to, we're going to go over some of just the moments we loved real briefly. BizCon, that was always, every time we're in Vegas, we always get a ton of chance to not only, obviously talk with a lot of people and a lot of our friends and a lot of, other people in the industry, but, a lot of you people out there, we always get to really come across a ton of listeners.
What's interesting for me is, I mean, as you know, and I don't know how much the listeners know, but I was a New Millennium user when I was a large scale cultivator before I ever worked for you guys. So I got to hang out with you on that side.
Yeah.
And then I got to hang out with you on this side, and we've had some really interesting times. And I can't shout out the NewMill family enough because the way that this all kind of serendipitously came together. It's like, it's just really funny. I think about the time when we were in Vegas, before the year before I started working with you guys, and we're outside that casino.
Yeah,
and we're smoking that joint. And security comes outside and they're like, "Can you guys move? Like you're like blowing out the casino."
Yeah, I go.
And it was, I believe, as I remember, it was your legendary Gorilla Glue 4, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, that checks out.
And I want to say even later that night we were in front of a closed garage door, same thing, and they fucking made it.
Hey,
you guys gotta go, dude. You're just blowing out everything.
Yeah, BizCon was a big one for me. I knew Jerin. I had just met Gabe. I just met the rest of the 5-8 crew, and that was like a real team bonding moment. I got to go out with you guys. Here I am, single stand-up comedian, Dayton. I'm made of steel, baby. I'm gonna out party these guys. No is the answer. You guys are wild. I had so much fun in Vegas with the Jug Dealers.
Straight up. And we're not going to say the names of our partners at DLI, but shout out to the Dutch, dude.
Dutch lighting.
The Dutch. And we're not just talking here. I'm talking the rest of those guys. The Dutch know how to party.
Yeah, have a good time.
That's those guys. Steve Aoki's birthday.
Dude, we go to Hakkasan every year,
and I learned that Gabe is a real one. At a Hoppin' Vegas nightclub, he's like, "Oh, just show up. I'll come out and get you." I didn't come. I was like, he's not going to come out and get me. Like they're going crazy in there. Gabe came out. Yeah. He's like, "Where are you?"
Yeah,
it's true.
When it comes to having a good time, I like to make sure.
And you know where I was, Gabe? You recall? We were taking dabs in that restaurant, and I got catfished by a lady.
Yeah, you did.
I remember. Yeah, we tried to tell you too.
We were at that Japanese restaurant doing dabs in the.
He's like, no, she really likes me. Yeah,
she was working.
Yeah.
Everyone's asking about the GG4 and GMO. Let me tell you something. You guys just stay tuned because we all know how much you love Jerin's stuff. So Jerin may or may not do things in the future, but we'll tell you right now that stuff is locked down. So,
Dr. Webb, you chill there, buddy. That's right.
Yes, we're going to talk about. Hey, we're going to talk. Will we're going to talk about those episodes because they are some of our tops too. So you hang tight for a bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just jump into some. I'll just say, just for people out there, if you haven't, reality is, I'm sure people watched basically all of them, but really, we started I feel like catching our legs with the MPK trilogy, Brian Nitron there in episode 6, episode 7, just that whole macro micro series that we started with, I feel like it was really strong. And the feedback that we got, hey, there you go. Will, shout out to Big Will. That's a good buddy of mine.
Hello.
Yes, hello. And that right. Yes. You're right. And those were a couple of my favorite too, Will. Riley Kirk, she's amazing. Dr. Riley Kirk, that was a great episode.
Yeah, I told him we'd address that in a minute.
And we will. Oh yeah, you did say that. But yeah, we try and give everything. And that man, talk about some good science there. So no, those are particularly, definitely some of my favorites, obviously.
Well, and I think that one's got 47,000.
Well, for anybody tuning in, that was. I'll never forget, I sat down with Garrett Duffy when we first started the show, and, I think we were maybe those first couple in after we were 10 episodes in. It was after the MPK trilogy. And he goes, I love how you guys are addressing the stuff that no one else really talks about that much. And I was like, well, I said, my whole issue is, working in these giant cultivations, we've dumbed it down so much that people don't understand why they're making the decisions they're making. They just as long as you're good at following the directions, you can bake the cake.
But what happens if something goes wrong? That's real.
And I think something that I honestly didn't understand before I came to work for New Millennium was the quality of the inputs. I remember, before I worked for you guys, when you would say, hey, what's the difference between grass-fed cattle and corn-fed cattle? Well, I'll tell you what, you could taste the difference. But if I'm looking at two steaks in the market, I couldn't tell you which one's which. Right. And so that was something that I really thought, as we started to build those episodes, I think that was something that really stood out to me, where I was like, okay, and honestly, this is one of the reasons I came to work with you guys, to work with Neil. Shout out to Bo, shout out to the owners, man. Shout out to, all the guys in the back, the whole team, the guys who bottle, the guys, it is literally, it is the homies, and that was something that really impressed me. That was something that resonated with me, because I was like, man, Bo literally has this place so he can employ all his friends.
Well, there's
and luckily for him, he's got a lot of elite friends.
And he makes and they make, when you sit down and talk to Neil, they make Neil does things with intention, and the intention is not that hey, we're going to make a bunch of money on this. When are you going to bring back Neil? When are we going to bring back Neil? That's the question.
Yeah, it's very plain central. Well, you know what? We do need to get Neil back in here, because that was actually an episode that we didn't write down. That somehow that one got age gated. It did not get
the land of
play that it deserved.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Anyone that watches me knows I do this 6 days a week, cannabis content. I have talked to some of the smartest cannabis people in the world. I think Neil stands at the top of that pyramid by a
so
decent
amount. We need to get back. Thank you for bringing that up. That is a favorite episode of ours, and that got totally screwed. That episode got screwed.
Yeah.
That episode got screwed.
That was, I'll be honest with you, the first time I took the trip to Vegas with you guys, I think it was my first year working with you guys, when Neil came. We had a discussion on the strip, walking down the strip, where he was talking about barometric pressure in different areas of the country and how it affects the garden and all kinds of things. It was you just sit back and you're just like, okay, can I turn record on my phone?
I remember he brought this chart. He's very specific. He's like, GRAMBO, I have this chart, and it's all these. It was.
You're like, hey, this makes no sense. Yeah,
he was so deep on this one. These are pictures I took. He brought printed out diagrams.
I gotta go watch that again, dude.
No, it sounds right. No, I agree.
I really wear sunglasses in that episode.
No, he's not in that one. He might have been some other one. But
he was.
I was wearing something. Wow, I must have been high in that one.
But you were. That's different. I was about to say, I don't think Neil was. No.
Look at him. He's so cute.
Like a bum. I guess let's run through that real quick, and we're getting deep in here. I want to open it up, to
just for anyone looking back, that was episode 23.
23. Okay, 23. And I think it's because of a joke that he made that I'm not.
It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Yeah, I know.
He wasn't even. He's an old man.
I get it.
He tells old man jokes that are somewhat tasteless. But funny.
Well, they're very dry. They're very, very dry.
And any 20 proven he watches the show. We dubbed him the Jug Father.
So early one we had on too, and I did want to give mention and just a shout out to our good friend over Adam and all the folks over at the Adam Dunn Show.
Oh yeah,
they've been a supporter for a long time as well. And that was episode 17 actually, and that one about literally of all the episodes that happened in the show, that was the most random one for me.
The
Robert Downey Jr. story.
Yeah, not only the story about how he got to Amsterdam, but the boat.
Which I was okay. So that number one, I figured there was some intention about going to Amsterdam, like one of those deals. I saved up and I went to Amsterdam, and no, No.
And then punching Robert Downey Jr. in the face was like the coup d'etat. You're like,
yeah,
what?
that was
so random. Like he's just telling the story, and he's like, yeah,
that was the
my brother-in-law in the face. And
that was the absolute coup de grace.
Robert Downey Sr. started dating Adam Dunn's mom, and Robert Downey Jr. was his stepbrother.
Yeah.
I've known Adam for years. I already thought he was cool.
I never knew that, dude.
What? How?
It's so
this came to light in the studio, and all of us were jaws on the floor. So if you haven't seen
that was a 3-parter. That was episode 17, 18, and 19.
Oh, wow.
To be fair, we've experimented a bit on how the link
look
size
at
of the
this, look at this weird intro I did. I was just trying stuff. Like for some reason, there's just like
guys, whatever.
I was hungry. What are we doing?
Well, we're 100 in. We've smoothed it out a bit. I feel like at this point, that one was definitely one that it was definitely a moment that stuck out to me. Very quickly, let's do some grow store shout outs, Gabe. I know you got a couple ones in particular. Why don't you go ahead and talk about Growers Paradise again?
So Growers Paradise, dude, I am going to be down there this weekend on Saturday from 10 to 8. I'd love to see all you guys come out. Guys and girls. I'll have some samples. I believe we even sent some Mag Garden out there. So that's
I believe so.
And after getting into this, I should kind of preface, just because I know your guys it's not just that we're shouting out stores. Like these are people,
big support.
You guys know it's attrition out there in the hydro industry.
They're actually open and they're supporting us and they have our gear. How about that even?
They're very important people in the Jug Dealers family.
Thank you, GRAMBO. These aren't just random shout outs. These are people that are supporters of us. Thank you.
And then as always, Shore Grow. Those guys, massive supporters.
And where are they all at?
They Growers Paradise is outside of Virginia. Shore Grow is in Oakhurst, New Jersey. They're in northern Jersey. They're the reason they call it Shore Grow is because they're near the beach. So if you're in northern Jersey,
by the shore.
they're down by the shore. You know what I'm saying? They're
and then of course we've got Urban Roots, who's always been a big supporter for us down in Tampa, Florida.
Super shout out
in a new location. Big shout out to Urban Roots
and Buffalo Roots, bro. You were just there, man. Those are the homies, bro.
And Northern Roots is the other one. So Urban Roots in Florida, and then Northern Roots in Redding, California. So we do have people around the country. These are all folks that will ship to you as well. If you can't get things on the Jug Dealer shop, which you always can, but if somebody's closer to you than that, whatever. There are some places that we have had some issues to shipping to. I won't go any further than that. So there are supporters out there with us. That's why we'd like to shout them out. Gabe,
can I just there's one we forgot that I think
yes, we've got time.
Yosina.
Oh
yeah, we got Yosina is the brother, Harvest Moon, one of the OGs, Operation Green Merchant.
For
that
matter, we've got great support in Buffalo in general between Harvest Moon and Buffalo Roots.
Yep.
Shout out to JK and Chris. They're at Buffalo Roots. They've got our product as well. Big supporters. I was just out there.
What up, Cody?
Cody, nice to see you, buddy. Nice to see you. Big supporters there. Bad River.
Shout out to you, Healthy Green. He helped me with Cortez's wedding at the Church of Cannabis.
Somebody needed to.
Yeah, he blew my mind. He showed up at this open mic that I always go to, and he's like, "Hey, is Grambo here?" And there's like, "No." And I walk over, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Healthy Green." I was like, my worlds are colliding.
Ha!
So let's dive into, shockingly, our biggest episode, with 85,000 views,
very early on, episode 9.
Episode 9, Coco. What? GRAMBO, first off, you're the master of the thumbnail. So, what was the secret there? And then, I guess, the world wants to know that much about Coco, in which I felt like we dove pretty deep.
Well,
it was one of those things that you never know going into these things what they're going to do. And this was actually, it's kind of an important episode for me because it was the birth of what you guys would kind of know as the modern thumbnail. It's really hard to come up with a thumbnail that's kind of original. And so I put Jerin in the left, Gabe in the right, and then plants growing in cocoa, and then the two rockers with the lower one. It's become a little bit iconic. I'm pretty proud of it. It's hard to make a thumbnail that has identity. And I know as you guys are scrolling, you always know what a Jug Dealers video when you see it. And so this one solidified us. 80,000.
applicable.
I just love that you took all the gray out of us.
Yes.
Yeah,
And this was
think,
I always want to say this was before all the Dolly was put into Chat GPT. I actually
Nice,
traced
Rob.
these guys. It took me like a week and a half to trace their faces. And it was I'm very proud of how that
Now
this is,
now
you
you
know,
make
this
this
is-
fucking dance in your little things,
well,
dude.
because that's if you want to see what an AI Jerin looks like, I don't know if you guys can see that this stubby thing
Oh
here.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the first episode, I didn't have time. I got Gabe done. So that's what the actual AI would have looked
That's
like.
terrible.
Yeah, it's
I'm
horrible.
glad we changed
So,
that. That's scary.
I was very
Let's go back
proud
and
of how
fix
the
that.
thumbnail came out. And so that was the birth of it. A little behind the scenes in
That's
Grambo's
pretty
world.
funny, dude.
I was proud. It's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, we're down for the picks, Bad River.
Yes, please.
I gotta ride up there too soon again. I will. I promise. I went to the Four Corners rally instead this year.
So I will say too that just all Matt, in no particular order, by the way, I'll just mention a few of my favorite ones as well. Really, like the Hollywood Undead, and really just how that whole story unfolded, and the fact that like I literally went and picked him up, from their show that was in Denver in Denver at what is that? What's the place called, Gabe? As a by name?
It's Woods.
No, the green one. I'm totally like space.
Fiddler's Green.
Yeah.
Fiddler's Green. So they have like a sold out show at
Okay.
Fiddler's Green. I went picked him up at their bus in Fiddler's Green. That's and that's Jarrell, and then that's his lead singer. So Jarrell's a bass player and basically the starter of Hollywood Undead. I met him in Hollywood, ended up staying in an Airbnb that was like right next to the building he grew up with. Went out with him and his girl. So shout out to Jarrell and Hollywood Undead. Super cool. Came into the studio. I'm thinking we're talking music and anything. Hell no.
That was what shocked me. You guys, because he had his singer with him. We ended up doing that one where I sat that one. At that point, we had both started filming kind of some of our own interviews. So because he had his singer, I sat that one out purely because we just didn't have enough friggin' mics.
Right.
I remember standing at the door, and I was the same way as you. I was expecting stories about.
I'm looking for like road stories and party stuff. Nah, dude.
And he's like, "Fuck music stories. I want to tell stories about growing weed." And I'm like, "Dude, this guy is."
And as it turned out, he got started growing weed because, he's like, "Dude, we were young and stupid and partying. So from a business perspective in the music, we got totally screwed."
Well,
we
and he's like, "We were coming off music,
with no money."
Yeah, he's like, that's what supported my music career was being able to grow.
And that's
$4 grand a pound.
The one thing I will say, Jarrell's like,
here's where they played. This is Fiddler's Green.
Yeah.
This
and he played. There's pictures that we have up of him. He wore a New Millennium shirt
on stage. That was sick. So yeah, for me being a musician, it was pretty cool to meet these guys, and then they do our podcast, and then go on to play to thousands of people. And Jerin, you'll probably recall, I got in a car accident on the way to
that's true. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna get fucked up. This
was horrible.
Screwed.
I was getting off on I-25 to I-70, and this guy sideswipes me.
5 people on the screen right now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Those guys were cool, man. Those guys.
Yeah. So that was a favorite of mine. As Will mentioned, Dr. Riley. That was Dr. Riley was amazing.
Dr. Riley was great.
Dr. Riley was amazing.
She was, and I'll be honest with you. I first saw her on First Smoke. We're trying to get Lance on. That's a big thing for this year. We're getting Lance on at some point this year. But I saw her on First Smoke, and I was like, Jay, we got to get this. We got to get this lady on. I was like, she's super interesting.
She's
got a lot
smart.
going on. She's really cool, really open. She's got a PhD. She's really got a lot going on. Congratulations to her, by the way. She just had a kid.
Yeah.
So those guys are kind. I don't want to say they're homesteading, because homesteading, involves living on the land for free for a little while. But I think they have a place up in her and her husband have a place up in like New Hampshire
or something.
Yeah, they have a New Hampshire. They have a farm. They have all this stuff. Shout out to her. I'd love to get her on the show again. She was great.
that was awesome.
I'm actually.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
One of my favorite episodes that I really loved was actually getting Fletcher on, and that
was amazing. No, that was a big hit for you.
That was a big one. That was a big one for me. Fletch doesn't do a lot of interviews. I've told you guys in the past, like I met Fletch at the Adam Dunn Show Invitational, in which he's actually talking about doing another one in November, which is going to be really cool. if for anybody who knows, that was such a gathering of amazing. I mean, so many different people, AJ, JJ, Fuji, Matt Barger, so many different people who were like really the backbone of this for a while. And I remember when I met Fletcher, some of the stuff he said, I was like, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. Like, there's no way that any of this, like, you're so off base, dude. And he's been right about all of it over the years. I'd like to think that he's a good friend. We actually, we talk about a lot of stuff outside of cannabis. We talk about cars and stuff like that. I mean, he's definitely one of the things I really respected about I do respect about Fletch is Archive is so much more than just cannabis seeds. He's got some land in another part of the country where he has all kinds of plants, like all different plants. He's really about that life. So yeah, that was actually one of the bigger episodes. Yeah, the P-Bud episode was awesome. That, it's funny because when we were going through this and trying to pick them, I was saying to myself, I know there's one that were like great episodes, but another one that you did was Dan, the entomology man.
Yeah, Dan Banks. Yeah, shout out to Warren Canna and Dan Banks.
And that was your connection. Wasn't he like a ski buddy or some shit?
No, he was actually a good friend of mine from college. Actually, we went to school together at CSU.
Okay,
and
he was so tight. That dude was so
another Midwest kid, and just man, that dude is on it. Like he really, really, really knows his shit, especially for cannabis entomology. You know what I mean? Specific to what we're doing. He's worked all over the country and world. He's in Puerto Rico still, running Born Canna. I was able, dude. That trip was crazy. That was a wild Jug Dealers trip.
Yeah,
it was for me. I want to say it was something like it was like I don't know 8 or 9 states and a territory. I like went from Florida, did Urban Roots as customer day, met you up in New York,
the Puerto Rico. The Puerto Rico thing was like a last minute, but you had.
Well, I was with Jerin, and he's like, "Yo, let's go to Puerto Rico." But I had been there, so I was like, you know what? Like I've been wanting to get down there, and like I had actually, crazy enough, I had samples on the way.
Well, and Jair wanted to see old Juan Pobs.
Yeah. He wanted to see Juan Pobs.
Shout out to Juan Pablo, dude. We love Juan Pobs.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Ronald Cass. Just ordered some Ruby Autumn and Riz. And since you did that, Ronald, guess what? You're entered in the weekly giveaway, which I'm gonna pick, and we're gonna announce at the end of the show. So someone's gonna get an email from us. And while I'm yakking, can I give you guys a shout out? Can I throw a GRAMBO moment? No, sure. you Jerin and Gabe.
Us. Okay.
So I've been working with Dude Grows. I've been a grower since 2012. Like, I had my stuff together, but I was in no position to be an expert on anything. And after working with you guys for a year, I started my own channel. I started GRAMBO Grows. And the only reason I was able to do that is because I learned so much working with you two.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Dude Grows taught me a lot. Hand growing taught me a lot. I was in no position to teach anybody anything, but working with you guys day in, day out for a year and a half, I was like, you know what? It was like Neo in the Matrix when he's like, I know Kung Fu. I was just like, holy shit. I know like a fucking fuckload about growing all of a sudden. I started chiming in at Dude Grows more. I'd be like, oh, actually, Scotty, that's incorrect. The real thing about VPD is, and he's like, when did GRAMBO learn to grow? And I was like, GRAMBO grows. So I appreciate that was a huge moment. We're right in the era of like when P-Bud came on. That's when I did my first episode. And yeah, you guys taught me personally so much. So if you ever watch my show, you wonder how did GRAMBO get so smart? It's because of these two guys. 100%.
Thank you, buddy.
And I'll tell you, it's funny because, bro, you got a good resume when it comes to education. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And I have a lot of experience, but you guys are the ones that help educate me on a lot of the finished stuff. So it's definitely a good combination because a lot of my experience is practical. I've sat there and I've been in buildings where we've just collected so much data it'll make your freaking head spin. But then again, when I love how you talk about how calcium is taken up in the transpiration stream, and you pound that into people's heads, because the reality is if you are not pushing enough water through your fucking plant, you might not have a calcium deficiency. You might not just be pushing enough water
or anything else.
Or like you said, I love the plant janitors thing. because ultimately, like you said, the water passes through the freaking plant. It's not really drinking it. You know, we were talking about the pyramid before the show, you know, and the importance of light, because that's what is.
That's the foundation.
That is the thing. The food. That is, you know, that is plant food. This is vitamins and stuff. Now, granted, you know, I think
it's everything.
Well, I think one of the beautiful things that I've learned from working from New Millennium. Can't cut those out in the lives. But is the quality of the inputs, you know, and I think that's the big thing that's been pounded into my head. And I've seen, regardless of whether it's Scietetics or whether it's New Millennium or whether it's Slicium, or I'm going to do the plug, you know, Cocotetics, whatever of the products. The reason things come out better, and I know the Bad River boys can agree, is because of the quality of those inputs. So
changed my view on the cocoa blocks. I was anti-block. The first time I bought a block, I was like, never again.
It's because they used to do it from like swept out the horse shit. Yeah.
It changed my life.
I work for the company, and Lee knows that I'm like not the biggest block guy. And he was like, hey, just take it home and try it. And I will tell you what, you know, the spiel is the spiel. Go check out. Did we drop that episode yet? We didn't.
Not yet.
Cocoa. We have a new cocoa.
And while we're talking about it, I just want to throw out just to do some business. If you go sign up for our newsletter, you're going to get discounts. I think the blocks are really cheap. I think it's buy 4, get 1 free is what we're going to do. It's 20% off. So come get yourself a few blocks, get some for free. It's and just sign up.
I know some of you in the chat are using it right now and loving it, because it is coming with package 1 in the samples too. You get 4 blocks, I believe. So
the cocoa block, we do have a measured, what was it, about a half gallon. We just slowly pour a half gallon, like open the bag, slowly pour in a half gallon. That thing will plump up, you know, and then just give it a little squish on the sides. You may need to add just a little bit more water just to get it where you want. You can get a little.
You got to prime that pump a little bit. You got to prime it a little.
Yep. But honestly, they just self-inflate, man. They're really nice. If you're doing it with a wand, I prefer to do it with one of those shower heads. You know, those are really nice, but just put in the amount. I've done it both ways. I've done it where I put in the measured amount. I've done it where I put in like 2 gallons. They both work really well.
Well, and here's you know,
the big thing, and I know Jay will say this, is you gotta, after you hydrate them, just pour through some nutrients. Just so they're
really, I would say I would do the whole thing with nutrients. I wouldn't start with plain water, just water it in with nutrients.
I only do it with plain water because when you have 1,000 of those effing things, it's cheaper to do it with just water.
Well, yeah, here's the thing for everybody that's listening, water it in with your nutrients, because the reality is it's a half a gallon. It's totally fine. That's going to fill up the whole thing. And the reality is you don't want that thing to get 100 right off the bat, because really what you want to do is leave it for 5 to 7 days to let it fully actually root that thing out. So it'll get hungry if you don't. Make sure and do it with nutrients. But anyhow,
shout out to Banjo, good friend of mine, and he's using the blocks. Shout out to you.
So and I guess we're getting more and more questions in here. So I guess it's the only last thing I want to shout out personally is, you know, the Rob Clark episode, a personal, you know, once in a lifetime opportunity. Thank you so much, Rob Clark.
Hopefully not once in a lifetime.
Well, that's actually true, but I mean, it was definitely one of those things. It's like I got to jump out.
Yeah,
you know,
that was something where someone
a true notch on the belt, you know. So we didn't, you know, that.
And then you want to take a smoke? We'll take a smoke and we'll check out this. I put a lot of work into this intro. Not as many people.
Yeah, we'll set it aside. But everybody who's in there, take a look. We really worked hard on this.
Everyone, pack up something that you love to smoke.
We're just gonna, we're gonna enjoy this.
And the guys came to me. Jerin went to Amsterdam. Robert Connell Clark. He's the father of cannabis botany. And YouTube kind of buried it. It is episode 90, so it's a fairly recent one. And let's take a little listen of who was Robert Connell Clark. Let's go.
Who is Robert Connell Clark?
He's been called the godfather of cannabis botany.
The author of Marijuana Botany, which has been the Bible for generations of growers, along with the evolution and ethnobotany of cannabis.
The man who traveled the world collecting landrace strains before it was cool.
Co-founder of the first legal cannabis seed bank.
A scientist, an ethnobotanist, and a storyteller of the plant.
He helped bring cannabis out of the shadows and into science. And today, we get to sit down with the man who helped write the book.
We're Jug Dealers.
So that was is fun.
Top notch, you know.
Yes, and so Jerin in Amsterdam,
really look at where
actually
things went
hanging
back to
out
genetically and where they tied into the current
that was
genes.
cool.
We're in Jair's
The
apartment.
reality is,
Literally,
you know,
that's a canal that you can see behind it. Like, and for whatever reason, it just YouTube kind of buried it. You know what I mean? And it's tough how this works. All you guys I know watched it. All our hardcore people watched it. There's no doubt, but they didn't give it much love. And I think it was, I don't know, it was because it was just very hardcore about cannabis and genetics. I don't know.
and shout out to you, Stanton. I love that. In a world where cannabis,
right.
where
Hey
cannabis.
man, we were going for it, dude.
Yeah,
We
you
were
put the
going
work.
for
You
it.
put the work.
You
And
were going for it.
I know, I come from the original days of High Times magazine, like reading 1997, and it was a big deal. I remember reading a lot of the High Times, we'll call it pressed concentrate pictures. It came from him. A lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah, and I know the talk
Shout
that
out
somebody did make a comment about that. I don't disagree with you. Jair said something about that too. Like, well, some of the text and people's watching on a a phone, it's really hard to read. It's like, yeah, well, we're not perfect. But it was definitely I thought that intro, I was really happy with how we went for it. But if anybody hasn't watched it, go back and watch Robert Clark. That was a notch on the belt for me, for sure.
And there's one of his books right there. It's so cool.
Yeah, no, and we got it was, I got to definitely ask some of the questions that, you just don't get to normally have an opportunity to ask. And I had to definitely fly to Amsterdam to get this interview. That interview is not happening.
How long has it been since he's been to the United States? 20 years?
30 years, yeah, something like that.
I mean, so like you put the work in, dude. Like, straight up. That was Yeah, and just with the camera setup we had with everything, it was better off to do it by yourself. That was the episode where I'll be honest with you, that's the one I was kind of most excited about. Even Fletcher was excited about that one because
right.
When do you get a chance to sit down with Rob Clark? You don't. Not here. Yeah, he's been on Adam's show I think a couple times, but again, that's remotely.
Yeah, that's remotely. I went and was able to do it.
That's some as far as cannabis, bro, that's probably some real.
Like you said, that was notch on the belt stuff. And in fact, here's the deal, guys. I didn't just hang out with them and do the interview, or I said I didn't just do the interview.
You guys went out on the 3 days. You went out on the fucking boat with Mila and like a bunch of other people.
Hey, and you know where that content is going to be housed?
Wow, you guessed it.
Yeah,
so all the stuff that we talk about, these guys got footage all around the world. We're talking Cannabis, Amsterdam, Germany, and there wasn't a place for it. We can't post our home videos and smoke sessions.
Or like in shops, let's just say, smoking club reviews, for example, something like that. You can't.
We had a bunch.
Yeah, you guys did a lot of the clubs in Amsterdam, right? And not all of them.
Whether it's Amsterdam, Barcelona,
quasi legal. Oh yeah, Barcelona was the clubs, right? Yeah.
I wasn't wherever.
That was when I got hurt doing jiu-jitsu. These guys at GRAMBO, you're coming to Spain. I'm like, I'm so stoked. And then I pop a herniated muscle tear doing jiu-jitsu. And they're like, don't lift anything over 5 pounds for 90 days. Surgery in March.
Goodness. And I guess, real quick, because we're hitting the hour and the window, open it all up and basically at an hour for actually really look at the, ask
the chat. Go back in some of the questions. I don't want to,
Yeah.
And I say like just
real quick that I've been starring your guys' questions. As we're rolling up here, if you guys have questions for Jerin, Gabe, or myself, put them in there and I'll make sure I grab them and here in the back end. And then I'll send that link over to Eugene if he decides he wants to come on in.
So GRAMBO, I guess you see, this is why we have GRAMBO,
I love you boys. Seriously, I can't understate how much working with you guys changed. I was able to move into a new apartment because I had a second stream of income and I get to buy my daughter stuff and eat. And I learned about grow and have a family here. Like you guys are literally awesome. The whole Jug Dealers crew, it extends into 5'8", Sam, Lee, Bo, the guys out back, Trev, you know,
And I always tell people, look, you're not buying some rich guy another Ferrari. Believe that.
you are not.
It's on our tables. I promise you.
Small business. It is awesome. So yeah, shout out to the guys.
I mean, no.
Start out the top, Graham. But what do we got? What do we got? Start up. What do we got?
Are we at questions? Is that
yeah? Let's say we're at an hour. I say let's open up questions. I think we're there. This has been great. This has been fun. It's a good chat. It seems the chat seems lively. Seems like we got a lot of people in here rocking and rolling. So
all right, so we'll just go in order of
that's pretty cool.
When they came out. So we're gonna go with Papa Homegrown. What did he say? He said, sneak question in there: Thunderbloom and Green Sensation, or is it Thunderbloom or Green Sensation?
I mean, you can do half and half if you want. If you want to do 2 milliliters and 2 milliliters, by all means, and especially if you have some Green Sensation left over, use that till it's gone. I mean, I will say that Thunderbloom is is a new product that we developed at New Millennium, specifically ourselves, as opposed to Green Sensation being imported from Holland. And I will say, just being real straight with you guys, since we're all family here. Green Sensation is a pretty expensive product because we have to import it from Holland. The fact that we make Thunderbloom, it's obviously going to be more affordable.
And right? I would show a picture of Thunderbloom, but it's not out. You guys,
it's not quite out. I guess that's
Club, the Elite 56 that joined the Jug Club early. Y'all got it.
They did get it. And I will say this: don't worry. When everybody signs back up, we will have things like, hey, we've got, let's just say maybe we put something out where we've got 100, exclusive samples of something new we're bringing out. For example, there's something called Blastogen that's out there that, there's something that's called Fertilium that's out there. These are things that are real products that absolutely are, they're so like there's stuff legit that we're all very much on the market.
So we're going to send trial products that aren't even out to the Jug Club members. That's so cool.
Neil is a mad scientist. And by the way, it's not trial. When we say trial products that are not out, this is stuff that me and Jayhawk and the rest of us, we've all been trialing.
We've all beta tested it already.
We've vetted it and been like, yo, this does the thing. You gotta get this out to other people. There's more. That's really what it is.
And more or less, we're like in the process of doing final registration and whatnot. So we're starting to already put it out to the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
there's a lot of work that goes into releasing.
It does take a lot. A new secret sauce chart. Not to cut in, but just switch out Green Sensation with Thunderbloom. I actually have one of our listeners. I can't remember who it was. Thank you very much. They literally just switched it out and sent it back to me, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Same mil per gallon, everything else. You can use it up to 5 mils per gallon.
Is that the one you sent me?
I believe so. I did send you.
I said pretty cool.
Yeah. It was cool, right? Yeah. Thank you.
I thought that was different than like Sammy's stuff.
Yeah, it was. He just basically put Thunderbloom on there, but that was just.
No, I saw that.
That was a nice little help. But
hey,
literally, Thunderbloom, Green Sensation, you can go half and half or flip them out. If you're running it with another line, or even just want to juice up your EC a little bit, you can run it up to 5 mils a gallon. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind, guys. But it's max 5 mils per gallon.
And I ramp it up. I
said you're safe.
Here's what I'll say about the Thunderbloom. I have
recuts next year, Van.
I'm trying to think of how the best to say it, but on some of the chems, some of the heavy feeders, I have started at like 3 mils a gallon with like 2 mils a gallon of the PK appetite at like day 25, something like that. So that's 5 days earlier than I would start with like a normal PK booster at day 30. But again, I'll ramp it up. But it does have a exponential effect where you start out low.
Guys, keep in mind it's about 0.1 milliliter or 0.1 EC per milliliter, 50 ppm per milliliter. So it's got to charge. So just keep that in mind.
It does. The thing though.
Would you tag that Holy Toledo 420 question? That's a good question on to say if you didn't see that.
Fuck yeah! Shout out Montana. I see you. I love Montana.
And then if anyone was curious, they can go over to the jugdealers.net and you'll see there's a thing that's actually got the feed charts there. So I got it up as a PDF. You guys can scroll through it. It's on there. It's if for some reason you lost yours, they're over in PDF form. Jugdealers.net.
If we're ever missing anything, let us know. Again, small independent. I know we say it a lot, but we're doing this stuff all from the ground up. So if there's something that just is weird or you can't find or whatever, always let us know. We're real receptive. We reach right back out. Every one of you, I think, can attest to that. So we're here, we're accessible, and we really, 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 really work hard to be accessible. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do the Jug Club, is to make us more accessible to the people who are really hardcore supporting us, like you guys. It's like, we're almost at 16,000 subscribers at this point. So it can be, it's tough to really, hit everybody, so it's like really wanting to give you guys that are giving us support, that extra oomph, we really want to do that. And that's why giving you the teasers for upcoming episodes, huh, Will? Good question.
Don't read too far ahead.
Yeah, don't go.
I know.
He's still got a stack that's backed up. We can't jump ahead.
All right, let's try and go through these fairly quick. Gabe, I knew we're going with that.
Is PK appetite a bloom booster itself, or should you supplement one when using the pet pack? So real simply, basically what PK appetite is doing is it's helping utilize the PK that already exists.
Correct.
Not only in the autumn, but a lot of you guys are using pH down. So it's really just helping utilize and pH down, like we've said before, phosphoric acid usually. But what it's doing is it's help utilizing the phosphorus that is already in these recipes. So that's why when, like I say to folks, I'm able to use it at 2 mils a gallon at like day 14, because as we've said with the decision is going to initiate bloom a little bit earlier. So I'll use it at 2 mils a gallon at day 14. Once I get up to day 21, I'll put it up to like 3 mils a gallon. Like I've said, when I'm at day 30, I'm generally using it at about 3-4 mils a gallon. And then that's when I'll start my Thunder Bloom or previously the Green
It's a companion product. I do want to make that real clear, because like Gabe says, it's really, you can see it's 0.6.9. It's not, there's almost no charge in it.
There's
APATITE. That's a soft rock mineral that acts as a natural P and K chelate. Okay.
So we were in Chicago.
Yeah.
We were in Chicago at the museum. And we took a picture. We took a picture of the appetite, and it's a rock, mineral as it exists. And it's one of those, look, we tell you we're not sponsored. We tell you that like pretty much this is a family show. But the truth of the matter is, all the additives, we love our bases, but all the additives, the PK appetite, the Ruby Fulvic, the Carbonaria, the Winter, the Decision. There's a reason no other company makes those things. And like, this is not some spiel where I'm like a salesman. This is like, I've seen it. I've been in the market long enough, and there's a reason, the Ruby, yes, it's a fulvic acid. There is no person on the market that has a 9-source fulvic acid.
No,
and when we talk about,
but again, Gabe, let's try and stick it. Yes,
we're good. We're good. We're out. We're chatting. Nobody's going anywhere.
Well, we ain't got we got all day.
What time you got to eat dinner, bro?
I was about to say, we got time. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, so what do you think about autos and blocks? Would the shallower block trigger them?
I thought that was a really good question. So what do you think about autos and the blocks? Would the shallower block trigger them early? That's a really good question. I might even just stack 2 blocks on top of each other just to be safe.
That is
like just cut out the bottom one and just stack them, dude. Like,
hey, Grambo, thanks for chipping in.
Yeah, well, and the blocks are cool because they air prune. You can just stack them and they'll air prune themselves. They'll go right down.
Yeah. So like that'll give you that deeper thing, and I know Whip. You definitely. You put Ruby on everything. You Frank Shred out that shit, and that'll be up on the. We'll get that here real soon. But
so
go ahead. And you're also willing to, experiment a bit. I know you're always kind of, I would just say stack them with autos. Autos might be a little small for them. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, usually you're wanting them to be a little bit deeper rather than wide, right?
Yes. So, cannabis root goes down.
Well, anytime it's out of a seed, it's more of a tap root, anyway. But also I think that the autos are probably even more affected by it than a photo would be as well. So stack those. Yeah, stack them.
Double question from Holy Toledo. Basically similar questions, but is your decision of fulvic winter frost made for outdoor living soil? Will it cause nutrient issues? Question, can I use decision and winter frost and Ruby and living soil? Will it affect pH? go ahead. I mean, I'll let you.
No, those things are great. Honestly, we have a ton of living soil people to use it. And if you ask if it's going to affect your pH, it would. In the solution itself, it was going to drop it slightly, but actually to a proper acidic, kind of range. And also, like, it doesn't have any residual aspect in the soil, if that's what you're asking. I remember, and I think people get nervous about this because there used to be a product that was like called Final Phase, I think, and it like would literally lock up all the nutrients in the soil so they couldn't be taken up. It did something totally different mode of action than anything. Our stuff is all working with the plant to initiate these particular responses. So, really any of our stuff is completely fine with living soil. We have a lot of people, again, decision is something that's going to get, that's a bloom initiator, get it rocking and rolling. Fulvic acid or ruby being a multi-source is it's either going to help maximize the uptake of any other nutrients it's ran in solution with, or what's in the actual substrate as well, and or both, right? So that's kind of a dual action aspect. Of course, don't forget about the carbo too. The carbo is fantastic in living soil. And then winter frost does not have a final phase type aspect to it. It will break down properly in the soil to where you can reuse that soil and all your microbes are rocking and rolling. And just like anything else, feel free to continually re-inoculate your micros. We talked a lot about that on some of our episodes as well. But anyway, next question.
Is 8 foot high enough for an HPS DLI lights? I mean, here's the thing I would say, grow shorter plants. And if you have to, turn them down. I've done it at 9 feet and I grow pretty decent sized plants. Now, granted, that's on a riser in a saucer. So I don't have that. Like, you would need to have a pretty low bench if you're trying to do it that way. But with some decent plant management size, you can make it work. And again, just have adequate cooling in there. That's the other thing I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I would say you're right there on the
9 or 10
right there on the cusp. And literally like attach it to the ceiling as high as you can.
No, mine.
And even take advantage of those.
Bro, mine are hooks to eyelets, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mine are hooks to eyelets. So I mean, you gotta take advantage of
early, you know what I mean? Don't have big time stretchers.
But I will say the DLI has a route for an HPS. It has a relatively slim profile.
It doesn't have that close to it, so it spreads it out a bit differently.
And it does spread it out a little bit better. So honestly, like I said, make sure you have some good air conditioning, being in shape. Do the new Millennium nutrients.
There should be these.
Come up through bottom wicking resin.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's how I answered that. Yes, when he asked it. Any teasers for upcoming episodes? I mean, we have some chem. What?
I said, well, that's my good buddy. Will.
Yeah. We have some chem stuff that we will be talking about.
I think here's the thing. I would say one thing, and I guess I would, not to cut you off, Gabe, but I would say if you guys do have some good ideas, I do think we're going to try and be like a little bit more like, we put a really good book of 100 episodes together. Like, what do you guys want to hear? Flat out. You know what I mean? Help us with that. We're willing to go in and do the research and do things. We want to do things that are really applicable. I think that's what's been so surprising to us in what our episodes are. Some things we thought would be viewed really well. And I guess maybe they weren't, like people couldn't turn off the computer and go apply it right away or whatever.
What's
Wilco is super applicable, and it's the biggest views. So I don't know. I mean, if you guys have ideas, I definitely would say, please bring them to us, and we're going to continue to do that. We're also really looking on bringing on some big guests as well. At this point, we have enough. We have enough subs. We have enough subscribers. We get enough views that, we're able to actually pursue people that we weren't able to pursue right when you're getting started, quite frankly.
This one's not a question, but I just had to throw it up there from Mr. B Moore, just because I know Jerin and I know how much you love talking about grow.
Yep.
Says I email back and forth with Jerin all the time. I probably annoy him. I don't think you do. Probably, right?
No, you don't. I mean, I think everybody I answer everybody. No, no.
Jerin and Gabe put their email. You can go to jugdealers.net, bookings, samples.
We're an open book.
Neil from New Millennium puts his actual phone number on the
Yeah,
bottle.
that's true. That's
the,
true. He
the
does.
NewMill fam, the Jug Dealer fam, they're not hiding. These guys love talking.
And here's the thing. Here's what I will say. I will say if I have a lot of correspondence back and forth with people, and it's like, you know, kind of come from what I've done, you'll see that like my answers will get more like to the point, because it's like we've kind of had like, you know, the polite like, you know, initials, I guess. And so when it's there, it's like if you have clients, like boom, you know, I'll answer the question. So you'll see my answers get a little bit like shorter, but that's just because I think more like, well, we're comfortable. We've been, you know, we're you know, we know each other now. We're, you know, going back and forth. So other than that, no, I mean, I answer all the questions that come in, you know what I mean? And again, that's what we try and do different is the accessibility. I mean, that's really, I think in a world where people, you know, are just, I don't have ulterior motives about what they're trying to hawk, or the fact that they're just saying it's great because they're literally getting paid to say it's great or whatever. You know, these are products that, you know, we literally use to feed our family and use ourselves personally and have used to results. I mean, that's how I put this company on the map initially, was literally with a jar in my back pocket, you know? So it's, more interviews. They've all been solid. Okay. Again. And I'm looking both ways, but like, I think that's one big thing, Gabe. And maybe I'll throw it back to you if you've got anything that you want to like kind of say.
I don't, I'll be honest with you. There's a couple interviews that I don't want to even lead on to.
No, I don't even say the one.
But I will say, like, we're definitely working on some pretty huge stuff. We're gonna bring in some more cannabis legends. You know,
I'm just gonna start chanting "Red Man, Red Man." We've been trying.
We don't want to go that far yet, but
someday we're gonna get you, Red Man.
We're working on it, and I mean, you know, the reality is we do want to get JJ in studio. We've talked to JJ.
Yeah, we want to get a lot more of that.
More of the older dudes. I'll be honest with you. I'd love to get Fletcher back in studio. You know, I thought that was a really cool interview. I'll be honest with you. We were lucky that he was in Colorado for that one, because it just kind of worked out serendipitously. There's a couple other dudes. Someone shouted out the Rare Dankness episode. That was another one. Yeah. Top dog. JJ's a super cool dude, man. JJ's one of the real ones. I'd love to get Mel in here. You know, I'll be honest with you. I've tried to get Todd McCormick in here. I'd love to get him in here.
We have, and if you also have ideas with that too, like we're also willing to reach out to people, I think more than we were to begin with, because we have a body of work that's put together. It's like, go look through it. You know, we've done it. We tried to put it together, and
we're taking questions like right here, right now. But if you guys want to ask questions directly to the guys, you actually can go to jugdealers.net, scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's this questions page right here, and that goes directly to the guys.
GRAMBO, is that 202 people watching live?
Yeah, we had
that's awesome.
We had almost 200 for a little bit.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, shout out and you know, the one thing we notice, like GRAMBO kind of comes in with the analytics. He's a very data-driven guy, you know, and he says, oh, we got guys from Australia, and we got guys from, you know, all these different Germany, England, all these different places.
You know what we've been trying to get on. We've been working on. Anna's a friend of both of ours, and she's a Colorado gal.
It's just a question. I don't, you know, there's certain interviews that Jay and I are real adamant about not wanting to film. You know, Dr. Riley was a perfect example. Like you know, that just was not going to line up, and we really wanted to get her in studio. Or get her on the show. But truth of the matter is, there's some interviews that we really, really, really want to do in studio. It's really important to us. And so if we gotta wait, we gotta wait. You know, it's just,
but those are like in I actually we haven't had.
We're getting Blackleaf. We're getting Blackleaf.
Yeah, there isn't an interview that I haven't liked, to be honest with you. Everybody's I think we've gotten better at them. You know what I mean? I like that, I'll say, you know. So
I got my analytics panel out here, and we got shout out to Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Australia.
It's Australia there.
Brazil,
dude.
New Zealand, Spain, Netherlands, Denmark, France, Sweden, Trinidad and Tobago, Belgium, and Poland. We see you guys.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's really cool. I think one of the coolest experiences this year was going to Spain and going to Barcelona, meeting up with Trike Farms, meeting up with ISO Gourmet, Shout out to those guys.
We'll be there soon.
Not only did those guys come up with the heat, but those guys were like the coolest guys. I mean, the thing about Trike Farms, he brought us into his home. He fed us dinner. And not only did he feed us dinner, it was food that I had never eaten in my entire life. And it was unbelievable.
It was insane.
And toured us around, showed us his gardens, like really brought us, really made us feel like family. Huge shout out to those guys. I think I'll be honest with you. I think that's been one of the coolest things, bro. We have the sticker on the bridge in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah. We got
in that narrowest canal right there. I think that is the narrowest canal. The bridge that goes into it.
I had to make sure I didn't get my head taken off.
If any of y'all are in there, shout out to Soma. Thank you, Jay. And thank you, Jair, for introducing me to Soma. What a cool experience. Heal up, brother. We love you. But really, this has been.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I like the thing is the Jug Dealer fam has really gotten wide, and like we said, we just read off all those countries. I'll tell you right now, even I was over basically with DLI, right, as a hired gun, like representing us and 5.8 and whatnot for DLI in Berlin, and dude. Like all the time, people were coming through, and a lot of love for the podcast, a lot of listeners. I was super impressed and very surprised. So, I was super appreciative of that.
They were talking. Someone said another interview with Fletcher. I'll be honest with you. Another guy I want to get on is Ben from IC Collective. He's another big, like, real going deep into the genetics.
Professor P is one that I'm definitely like that's with Dynasty Genetics. That's one that I'm going to get on. That'll be sooner than later.
We didn't really talk about it, Jay. And for all you 208 that are dialed in right now, we're going to be oh
my God, the lavender, whoever said that,
right? We're going to be releasing the Gene Traders Sour D episode where we dive into some Sour D, some genetic testing, and Lou really dives into a lot of that stuff. That's going to be available exclusively through the Jug Dealers site. Am I right, Grambo?
That's the first episode of Jug Dealers After Dark. You guys smoked the biggest bone I've ever seen. I could barely see it in here. It was hilarious. And
and so we know we're not going to get age gated on that. That's behind the scenes. And again, with some of those terminology with the breeding, I swear it puts us in hot water, man. Like Grambo, you've had dude grows the same kind. You can't say certain things.
You can't
say certain.
Yeah, Jay Maestro, special shout out to Jay Maestro, big supporter for a long time. Obviously a big dude grows guy. That's been always
Derek, we're working on some stuff. We're working with Jesse and those guys, not only to back some stuff up, but to bring some new stuff out. So.
And speaking of Gene Traders, like this is episode 100. He was episode 99.
Yeah,
it's not like the show is going to be different at all, but we're entering. We had meetings all day today about like new stuff we're bringing. Jug Club. And we're going to start dialing in these episodes. There's so much more knowledge to come, you guys. I'm excited for the next year.
And again, we're really here. We're dependent on you guys. It's just as far as like. Helping us keep us motivated. All the messages we get from you guys, it's really incredible. How much we have, people consistently reaching out and just saying, "Hey, you've helped me." Save years of learning.
An honor. It is an honor, and like you said, no matter where we go,
doesn't matter.
I think the thing that's blown me away, walking through the Gene Traders event in New York. I told you. Where and you were at that one with me where people were just walking up and they're like, dude, are you guys the Gene Trader? Are you guys the Jug Dealers? And we're like, yeah.
And I said this today, and I'm going to say it right now again. I'm going to say it right now. I'm looking forward to the day when we see you folks out there with the Jug Dealer pin on your hat, the Jug Dealer lanyard on. And like I said, you see us out there somewhere, you have any of your Jug Club gear, I promise you will get something from us. Like, believe that. Like, wow, I'm super stoked of like getting that going. So we really put that exclusive gear out there because it's always been like, you guys can know who we are, and we kind of wear the uniform or whatever. We always got the NewMill hats, and it's like people will recognize us in that regard. But for us to be able to recognize you guys, out and about and be able to see that and be like, oh yeah, because it will only go out. This gear will not go out.
So you guys, you get your lanyard. That's going to be the front side. Potentially, there might be some revisions, but it's going.
So this is what we're looking. It's exclusive, all access Jug Club member. Yeah. It will be numbered. It'll be 2-sided. We're going to have an exclusive lanyard on it. There's a pin,
laminated, full on. It's going to be sick.
It's a nice little laminated like Jug Dealer pin. I mean, like again.
And then since he's right here, shout out to Dread. He just left a comment. He left a comment. Hey, if you guys are coming,
hey, Dread,
I'd love to take you guys to the res. You guys hang out all weekend.
Oh my God.
Gabe's got a memento from him.
Yeah. The blue.
Dread was the man. Like I said to Dread, like I was like, bro, we didn't know what to expect.
The blue.
Especially when you told us you were taking us to the res.
Yes.
And I was like, and then he takes us out there and like, Jay and I have been around, man. We've been a lot of places. We never fucking seen.
I never seen that, man. And again,
if you've seen it, but it was literally like there's a quarter mile with like 50 dispensaries just stacked next to each other. And we walk into this place. Dread's like, yo, these are the places that are good. This is where you want to go. And we walk into this place, and right in the center is a jar of this stuff. And I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, oh, it's dipped and rolled and da-da-da. And I smell it, and it smells like Blue Nerds. And I'm like, he's like, it's happy hour. It's half off. So I think the 8th was maybe like $25. And I was like, I turned to Jay and I'm like, dude, for science, like, how do we not do this? I was like, this is where, sorry,
Dread. Sorry that's.
No, it's not. No. My New York representative is Sour D. It's Sour D from Sour LMNOZ. LMNOZ.
We don't put just anything up on the board here, and
it's got to be special.
Let me turn my camera around here just to kind of see. It's like shout out to the. We've got the wood burning of the logo I made.
Yeah.
That's super sick.
Right over there.
Welcome,
shout out to
dealers.
everybody who said that was from a dude in Alaska.
That
was from a dude in Alaska. We have our speeding warning.
Ooh, the speeding warning.
We have the speeding warning from South Dakota. Shout out to Bad River. We had the car laced, and we didn't get the funniest part. I think the funniest part of that whole trip was we got back to Jay's house, and I dropped Jay off, and he's like, what's this bag in the back seat? And I opened the bag and I'm like, oh yeah, that's all the joints, bro. And like everything else I had hidden like under the seat. We were super good boys in Wyoming. We didn't do anything wrong, especially after getting pulled over. And then all of a sudden, here we are. And like, it was funny because when we got pulled, we'll just tell them when we got pulled over, Jay had just burned one. I was being a good boy. I was driving. And so Jay had just burned one, and like I'm doing 65. I have the cruise control on, and all of a sudden I see this pickup truck up ahead of me. It pulls over, and I go past him, and he turns around and he flips the lights on. In fact, he flips the lights on before I even get past him, and then he comes in, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We're getting pulled over right now. I believe
you was like, oh, we're toast.
Yeah. And so I'm like, fuck, dude. And so I roll down the window, and I'm like hanging out the window like this, and I give him my license and stuff. And Jay and I swear to God, there's a wind like blowing. Jay has his window open, and there's this wind blowing through the car,
right direction, not the wrong direction,
through the car towards Jay and that direction.
And this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. None of this actually happened.
Yeah. This is the story that we made up in our head.
We're 2 hours in, dude. No one cares. Like anybody's watching, dude. No one.
Famously, Neil Brennan's brother got divorced because in the last part of a 3-hour podcast, he's like, yeah, I was banging this chick, and his wife heard him. And you know what his response was? Who listens to the end of a 3-hour podcast? Somebody.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, he gave
Who
us
the
some
hell
more-
listens to a 3-hour podcast?
He gave us
Oh
some
my
warning.
God. Oh
We
my
have,
God.
did we have the
Oh my God. All right. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah.
Or we
Our
what do we
Family
got?
Farms paper?
Our
Shout
Family
out to
Farm.
Tower.
Elemento Z, still straight up. And that was a great interview.
Year- Strain of the year.
Enjoyed
Strain
that
of the
interview.
year.
Yeah.
And, not
And
for
I'm
nothing.
hearing the Elemento Z is pretty, or Elemento D is good too. Eh?
Yeah. And Fletcher's lemon freeze.
Oh,
He can't.
that
Yeah, he can't.
one of my
enter-
favorite.
He can't enter his own competition. You know.
Right.
So, but when we hung out with Fletcher in the back, and he gave me the lemon freeze, I smoked it with all you guys. It
Oh yeah, no, that was fire. That was
so
great.
unique. So unique. He's the man. Shout out. Love
Yeah.
you.
No, that was great. That was great. That was absolutely great.
If
Do you
you're
have anything else
smoking, use
specific as
Ruby,
far as
how
are we
long-
just looking through?
looking
we
through
looked
that.
at comments.
My
We're not
carb
even seeing it. Wow.
smells. My carb smells a little funny. Is it okay?
Well, I would say funny in the sense is it's still like aerobic,
yeah.
or like the smell of death. You know what I mean? If it's got a little bit of a fermenty smell, like that's fine. Like things are active. Like we have bacteria and a lot of life and biostimulants that are in these products. So, you know, to me, it's always like the nose, like that necrotic death smell, which would be, you know, anaerobic bacteria. That's bad. So, yeah.
I was gonna say photosynthesis plus smells a little bit like that, but that's
I got a question earlier that I got in a DM over on Jug Dealers, and he says
they
like
slid into your DMs.
they slid in about is it normal that Ruby Fulvic can throw you a shock sometimes? I asked
Yes.
Sandy.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
100%.
All of them.
Especially,
Like part of it's like, here's the thing, like we have to like basically it's
That's a
interesting
funny
because
question.
Yeah, because it builds up static, right?
By the way, someone asked earlier about I don't know what it is, and I will contest the same thing because I have literally at this point poured thousands of gallons of that crap. Why it somehow gets everywhere, I do not know. The only thing I can recommend is do it over the sink.
what is this now?
The Ruby, you know how like there always seems to be a
It
drip.
always seems to dribble. I don't know what it is. It's like
and
it's
I don't have a good
like,
answer to
it's
that,
like
but it's
sticks
just
to
like
the-
it's like a do it over the
I think it's like something about like the surface tension and the static electricity. It creates a charge with the bottle and kind of wants
it's
to
weird. But
itself
when you have
out.
to settle these products down, because there's a bunch of biostimulants in there, so you got to settle them down and then cap them. And it does like the shit's alive. I'll be honest, the lightning starting. I know this is gonna sound crazy. Hits me the hardest. So yes, it's totally normal for your shit to shock you. I don't know why.
that's
Another
a
thing,
weird
just
thing.
so I'm always trying to learn. I call myself the junior jug dealer, and the lightning, that's the companion product to the winter, right?
No.
Precision is the
No,
companion.
that's
product.
really a start. It's I don't want to say what two products it is combined, but
Okay.
it's basically the only root and shoot stimulator that is kelp based
Veg
on the
only.
market. Yeah, veg only. Veg
Kelp,
only.
kelp, so it's
Yeah.
kelp based.
By the way, someone asked, I saw it. It wasn't, I don't know if it was posed as a question, it got missed. When do you run Slicium bloom till, Jay? You want to answer that
I
for
usually
him?
do till like 6 weeks. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Typically
okay.
6 weeks of flower.
Perfect.
You know? Yep. And for me, you know, I usually stick on a pretty 8 to 9 week schedule. So I'll feed through 6. I'll take Slicium up through 6, Winter Frost and Ruby week 7 as a, you know, second to last week pre-flush. And then I'll do plain water as a flush, not flush through, just a flush, you know, because, you know, obviously it's going to work as a sip or drip situation.
Thanks, Greg.
Somebody obviously asked that earlier. And then Holy Toledo 420. Yes, technically it's okay to order products on Amazon. Again, I can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, we
besides
can't.
off my website.
Yeah.
That's
lot-
all I can say, though.
A lot of times that's a store that went out of business. Someone purchased
Or somebody got
and-
free
yeah.
products and then turned around and sell it. Believe it or not, that happens.
Yeah. But that's
I mean,
yeah.
so-
When do you cut Rhizium? Okay.
I would say same thing, like week 6, you know what I mean? Again, you know, at that point, we're really, you know, I think we might have it up. Maybe we have it till week 4 on the schedule. I'd have to look that up, but like week 4 to 6, somewhere in there, people are always going to do it a little bit differently, you know, but technically that Rhizium is really just focusing on that uptake area. So for me, you know, it's still uptaken through 6 after week, you know, for sure. Once, you know, I hit with Winter Frost, I'm not hitting with any of those products anymore because we're into that senescence initiation and we're trying to shut her down. We've kind of come across
Shut her
the
down,
bell curve.
son.
shut her down. We kind of cross the bell curve. Now, for any of those people
wrap
that
it up
don't do-
beat. I always laugh. The winter, it's the wrap it up beat.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up,
I know
B.
it's
Like
the
we
end.
talk about
Yeah.
from the Chappelle Show episode. It's like, come on, wrap it up, beats.
So some of those people though that don't necessarily flush, and again, I just hate the word flush, but like use plain water at the end. A lot of people they'll do a step down and keep that bell curve going down and step it down with nutrients all the way more almost to the end, or maybe it's like a 2-day water only.
Mm-hmm.
You can absolutely still use winter frost, and you're just going to use it alongside your nutrients. You have to use it longer, so you're going to use it for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so basically that second to last week and the last week before harvest, rather than just the second to last week. So keep them out of mind. You might ask them why, because they are somewhat antagonistic, believe it or not, because it's essentially the winter frost is kind of trying to block out certain things like the nitrogen almost specifically to initiate that senescence. So it takes a bit longer of using it to actually get the same expressions, but you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maestro.
Jay Maestro, thank you, my friend.
Actually, funnily enough, right now on screen are the 3 people I've probably learned the most about grow from: Jerin, Gabe, and Maestro.
There we go.
Shout out, mailman. We see you.
Yeah, shout
We
out to
see
the
you.
mailman.
We know you're one of the real ones.
And he is not a mailman.
Yeah, that's
Just throwing out of there.
Wait, what?
He's not a mailman.
Your mailman grows.
Now I'm confused.
It's his nickname.
He's a consistent. He's consistently on the.
Like, now that I think about it, what was the guy that played for the Jazz? I mean, he was the mailman, and he.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
come
mailman.
on, it was Carl Malone. Got it.
Carl
Yes.
Malone.
Go.
Remember when Jimmy Kimmel used to do blackface on
Oh, hey,
Comedy
hey,
Central?
I mean,
That was the thing.
remember when Robert Downey Jr. Speaking of Robert Downey Jr., bringing it full circle. Remember when he did that in Tropic Thunder?
Joe Rogan asked him, "You think they could make that movie again?" And he went, "Oh, they could make it. I'm a dude dressed as a dude, pretending to be another dude."
Yeah, that's.
What do you
that's a
mean, you
classic.
people? Is one of the great
What do you
lines.
mean, you people?
And then the other guy goes, "What do you mean, you people?" Dude, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh man.
A real inspiration too. Remember, he got busted for drugs and prostitutes, and he's in court every other month.
So
and his life is falling apart.
So my best friend,
Now he's back.
my best friend in LA used to groom dogs, and he owned this business where he would groom dogs in LA, and basically most of his clients were old addicts and stuff. And so he actually had a time where he was using, and they roll up, and Robert Downey Jr. is in the car, and he's in the back seat, and he's like training for some role, but he's like literally just like, I want to say like method acting, but just like, like it was like, he's like, it was weird. So him and Robert Downey Jr. actually became kind of buddies for a little while,
That's awesome.
It's I mean, look, Hollywood's interesting. I never knew this, but he would tell me that like actors, they have to go to rehab so they can get insurance. So they can insure. So like when you have a movie, you're betting on the actor being able to finish the film. So these studios will get like a $5 million policy on them, because if they relapse, they want their money back, so it's actually kind of funny how Hollywood works like that.
Let's see. We got anything else started up there, Grambo? Man, it's crazy. We're like over an hour and a half in. I can't believe everybody's.
How about this? As we're
Back around.
crossing out,
Let's go.
I will ask.
Appreciate you guys.
I'll ask Gabe. Pick a number between 23 and 37.
Like out loud?
Yeah,
31.
31. All right. Well, your initials are AS, and you ordered from the Jug Dealer store. You ordered some Slicium Bloom, Slicium Original, and paid for a pep pack. And guess what, buddy? You have won the first ever jugdealers.shop giveaway. Guys, remember, every single week, you buy anything from the shop, you're entered to win.
Week.
And let's see, he bought both Sliciums. He bought a pep pack. What's not in there that we could give him? Some maybe some
Rhizium.
Some Rhizium?
Yeah, there's no Rhizium in there.
Okay.
Rhizium is.
Then AS, I will be emailing you.
He bought a pep pack?
He bought a pep pack.
Oh, dude, yeah,
full
give
price.
that guy Rhizium for sure.
Yeah.
All day.
So Yeah.
Shout out, bro. We appreciate you, man.
Plus, you got the Slicium with it. Yeah.
Where's he at?
Absolutely.
What part of the country is he in? Can we? I don't need an address.
He
Just what state
is in Illinois.
Hell yeah,
I was
bro.
gonna say, yeah, don't be-
Bro, hey, man, keep it real. We appreciate you,
So
bro.
AS
Serious.
out there in Illinois, and that goes for every single one of you guys watching it every single week. Well, we're not sponsored. Don't do Patreon. Don't do the members. 100% supported by you guys.
We're
We're
just
like
Jug Dealers.
PBS, bro.
And we're trying to impress the guys. You know, they're trying to keep the lights on back here. Everyone that works here, small family. We all pay our rent by Cannabis. And so if you want to support us, go over, buy anything. It helps us in the algorithm.
Yeah,
It helps
Jaren's
us.
got a couple kids, bro. Man,
I got a
serious.
kid. You
You're
got a
feeding
kid.
that. Yeah, we all have kids.
We got these
Oh,
kids.
yeah,
tonight.
yeah,
You're feeding. Yo, straight up to all y'all, all 204 of you that are still in the chat, and shout out to all you guys for
Shout
sticking around,
out to the
sticking around this
juggernauts,
whole
baby.
time. I mean, that really means a lot to us. But straight up, y'all are feeding our kids, man. That's the truth.
100%.
You know, this is not. Yeah, there's no like Jerin said. The owner is not driving a Porsche.
Ain't
That's-
driving a Porsche, ain't buying a Ferrari.
Yeah,
you know.
if any, the owner's driving a tractor is what the owner's driving. He's driving a tractor and a Chevy pickup. You know what I mean? But he ain't out there, you know, doing. He's working. I mean,
Well, you know what? And here's the other thing, guys. And I guess we'll see how it kind of. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how this views when it's just not alive. I guess in a views because there is some posterity sake to this, right, Grambo? It will be posted as our 100th episode, so it'll be sitting
It's
up there.
our first ever live too. It's a big moment just for me being a YouTube nerd. We had a videos tab, we had a shorts tab, we had a community tab, but you don't get the live tab till you go live. And this is live. And this was you guys. Hey, can I tell you guys something? You both have been doing really great. It's actually very hard to do a live where you're taking questions. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm old hat at this. I've done hundreds of lives. Grambo Grows every Sunday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And after the hundreds and hundreds, I got to say, you guys picked up fast. You guys are pros.
I'll thank
No,
Adam.
and again, if this is something you guys enjoy, you know, you will see us, especially from the Jug Club aspect. You'll see a lot more of this. You know, I don't know that we'll necessarily always, you know, post this stuff up on, you know, YouTube, but this was definitely fun. This was unique. We want to do something different. We wanted to really, you know, really converse with our people and the people that really help build this up and take it to where it's at. So, you know, we really appreciate it.
I coming from what we were before, you know, in I think we have one episode that hasn't passed what Ready Set Grow was, and we love Sammy. It wasn't.
I'm reading all the comments right here. Really appreciate
love you guys.
Wow.
But seeing that and seeing how we have multiple episodes that are 50, 40,000, and then there's that many people that have tuned in. And quite frankly, you know, the premise of this show and why we got it started was, you know, like I said with Garrett, there were holes. Like when we saw other podcasts, we saw that like, hey man, no one's doing what we're doing. And quite frankly, no one's still doing what we're doing, you know, between interviews, between our own knowledge, between our own experience, between us sharing things. And like, dude, we have some real, like when we talk about the behind the scenes, we have some really cool shit going on. We're going to show you guys some facilities that Jerin and I are involved with, where we're going to show you building some of that out and some of the best processes so you guys can see. So that way your places are nice. Cause the reality is, like we say, lighting environment, but environment comes with building the right place. You know what I mean? So, and that honestly, Jay, that's one thing I always respected about your flower and the tent, you know, is like, you always had your environment dialed. Like every time you come into the shop, like your flower's always fire, you know, it's always, when are we getting Jay's Gorilla Glue?
Aussies, we love the sport.
Yeah, shout out Australia.
Yeah, Aussies.
What's going on?
Yeah. And if you guys live in a cool place, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, find me on Instagram at Josh Grambo. After I got back from Hawaii, I was like, you know what? I have so many cool friends all over the world. Why don't I go hang out with them sometimes? I'm just going to fly to random Juggernaut, DGC, Grambo fans. I'm just going to come.
Welcome to our world. We call it freestyling, and we do it often. And like I said,
you're going for anybody interested.
Yeah.
I said this before. Jay's gonna be in Spain next week. So y'all, I told him he's over there for his.
Speaking of which,
significant other's birthday.
I got a
go
DM.
surprise him. Go surprise him.
I got a DM from a person in Spain, and you guys.
I can definitely get Zach on here too. Yeah, as I'm looking on these, I mean, it's James Loud. We've definitely talked to as well.
We've talked to James. We've talked about going on his show. We've talked about him coming on our show.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean,
James is a very in studio guy both ways.
Yep.
He's gonna do. It would be us in studio. It would be him in studio. But we love that one.
Yep. Yeah, well, and I got to I appreciate, again, thank you guys for all getting in. Thank you for hanging out so long. I can't believe we made it an hour and 45 minutes. I know I got to get rolling before too long here. I got kids to feed. We're
you're gonna be in Spain next week.
This has gone well enough. And even from the feedback, what I've been reading, which has been a ton of positive stuff.
We might have to do it again.
You're right, Maestro. We're not characters. So this is it's funny how much I look how it is like a normal show. I know it took somebody for a second like, whoa, you're in a different room. Yes, I'm in from my office.
He's a real person.
Studio, Grandma's in studio. But since we wanted to kind of keep this going late and long, we were like, well, let's just kind of, we're taking a stab at it. And I think it's gone, really, really well. And it definitely makes me like, hey, we're definitely open to doing more stuff like this.
And thank you guys, everyone watching live, everyone not watching live. 100 episodes. Congratulations, guys. When I started working with you guys, I put 001 as the first episode. And I was like, boy, it'll be a while before we get to that third zero. It's 095, 099. And now it's rolled over the odometer 100.
How many views are we
yes, we're real people. We're not avatars.
How many views for our listeners? How many are we at total? 1.5?
Yeah, we always love knowing exactly what's going on, and I'm a big analytics nerd. So let's see. How much have the juggernauts given us out there? Guys, you've given us 1.5 million views.
Awesome, dude.
1.4 and change.
Dude, shout out to y'all. Seriously, wow. we couldn't have made it. We could, this is the type of thing where this became a new facet to our everyday jobs, was doing this. So this is something completely different, and we could not have done it without your support. Yes. We couldn't have done it without you guys getting stuff, getting the products that you sample and then you keep, and then you continue to purchase from us. So honestly, as much as we love sharing the information, as long as you guys are here to listen, we will continue to share the information. And we couldn't do it without you guys. From the guy who lives down the street from me on Dartmouth in Denver. So he lives like a mile away from my house. I walk down the street all the time. To the guy in Australia, to the guy we had a guy in Guam, right?
Well, I see you there. I love that. Been here since 1, here for 100, looking forward to 1,000. We're going to do our best to keep that going on.
Hey, I did 1,000 days of walking, so we could do 1,000 shows.
I mean, we just filmed episode 1,789 over at Dude Grows, so we're going to get there.
Oh, boys. Yeah. Thanks for the motivation, bro.
We got this.
Yeah, we got this. We got this. But, and again, you guys, I truly feel y'all are going to be here, for the ride, and we're going to continue to put that stuff out there, and let's do this all together. Let's do this as a team. And, I do think this is a great episode today, guys. This is a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
Honestly, the way you just said it, I think this was a good episode today, guys. Like it was all of us today.
It was everybody.
Yeah. And shout out to the
Cheers, family.
5% female growers, 5% and growing.
Let's up those numbers.
We need more female. Those are rookie numbers.
We need more.
So I got to get going, guys. I hear a bunch of little feet pattering around upstairs. Again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. 100 episodes in, couldn't have done it without you. We're here for the long haul. Thank you for all the support, everybody. Till next time, even though I'm not in the Jug Den, next time I will be in the Jug Den.
We love you guys. We love you guys.
From the Jug Den.
Later.
We're Jug Dealers, we're the podcast you need to see. Teaching the game like you never seen. Jerin, Gabe, GRAMBO, true OGs. Masters of the globe, set your mind free. From Denver, Colorado, where the data's green. We set the data points for the SOPs. Jug Dealers Podcast, yes indeed.